A while ago, I made this video about how to draw yellow in 10 different ways, and asked if you know other ways to do it. After reading the comments, I realized I could have done 20 different ways. Anyway, this one comment caught my attention. First, because I had no idea what it was about, but then because it made me curious, could we draw yellow by alternating red and green squares? It also talks about using different probabilities, but I'll let you experiment with that. Now let's take a closer look at this optical illusion. Get it? Because then, oh no. Gonna code, debug, and have fun. Coding with Radu, coding with Radu. Gonna prototype and design. Coding with Radu, coding with Radu. Let's code now. I have Visual Studio Code open in an empty folder. And let's create our index.html file and start with basic HTML syntax. The doc type, and then the HTML opening and closing tags. Let's add the head section and the title fake yellow. And the body, I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Let's test by opening index.html in a browser. I'm using Google Chrome. And nothing here yet, but you can see the title here appears, so it works. Now we're gonna generate that grid-like pattern on a canvas. So here I'm gonna define a canvas element. And by default, this doesn't look like anything, but if you open the developer tools, in the elements section, you can see that it is there. It's just transparent. So let's try making it yellow by giving it a background color. And let's make it bigger as well. I'm going to make it like 500 times 500. Save and refresh. And let's check how it looks like with this microscope. You can see here the pattern of pixels where red and green are highlighted. If I'm gonna move this to the white section on the right, then blue is also appearing there. So the only difference between yellow and white, really, I'm here at the border, is that the blue is off. Let's test also how it looks like if we use here blue, for example. Save. Yeah, only those blue ones are appearing there, and now green and red are missing. Now let's begin to draw on this canvas a grid. And for that, I'm going to give it an ID, my canvas. And here in a script tag, let's decide what the cell size is going to be. So how big should the cells be? Maybe 10 pixels. And start drawing these cells on the canvas. So we first get the reference to the 2D drawing context. And what I like to do is take out these width and height properties of the canvas so that I don't have to type my canvas dot width and my canvas dot height everywhere. And now I can loop for y at 0 all the way to the height, increasing by the cell size. Same thing for the x, going to the width this time, also increasing by the cell size. I'm going to set a random color for the fill, and I will use this HSL syntax. Now the hue is going to be the random value between 0 and 360. Those are the possible hues. And the saturation, I just want 100% to be very colorful. And then 50% for the lightness, because 100% would mean white, 0 would mean black, 50% just gives you the color that you expect to have there. And then let's fill a rectangle at XY with these cell dimensions, like so. And now save, refresh, and look at that. Now, if you refresh many times, you will always get a random pattern like this. It would be really freaky if you refresh and you see something meaningful there. Like, I don't know, a picture of someone or... Yeah, so weird. Let's see how it looks like with the microscope if we move over this grid as well. So you can see each one of these cells has the same pixels, the same pixel configuration repeating again and again and again. But what we want to do is have these colors alternate between red and green and red and green and red and green. So let's try to do that. And I'm going to define here an index, set it to 0. And then here for the fill style, I'm just going to check the value of this index if it's an even number. So I check if it's divisible with 2, if the remainder is 0. Then I'm going to set here red. Otherwise, green. And we also need to remember to increase this index every time we draw a new square. Now if we save and refresh, we get this, which is maybe not exactly what you want. Maybe you want the checkered pattern like a chessboard. But the reason why we don't get that is because we have an even number of these squares on each row. If we would add one more cell size here to the width, then this is going to be a green one, and that's going to force the next square underneath to be red, and then the pattern shifts. So we could do that by going up here, for example, and saying I want my canvas width to actually be a little bit bigger by this cell size. And now if you're going to refresh, you get this kind of pattern. Now let's try decreasing this cell size. Maybe 5. Okay, I still see the grid. Let's try 2. Okay, it starts to look really yellow. Let's try 1. Yeah, that looks pretty yellow to me. I can't really tell the difference between this and a yellow square that I'm looking at, other than it's not very bright. So let's try to figure out why that is using this microscope. You see, it's still a pattern of greens and reds, like what we had previously when drawing yellow by specifying yellow there as the color. But now if you think about it, the number of lights that are on is less, right? Because previously we had green and red in each of those blocks. So we had twice as many lights on. And that's why this color is not as, doesn't look as bright as the other one. This is also interesting because we can't really brighten it with some tricks like filters, for example. If I'm going to select this canvas and then here in the CSS, I'm going to specify that I want a filter with maybe a brightness of 200%, it's not doing anything. I mean, sure, 50% does make it darker, but 100% or 200% or 300%, 400, it doesn't make any difference because these pixel values there are already at 100%, but they are just the green pixel and the red pixel. It's not them being dimmer. Not sure if you get what I mean, but let's try this another way. I'm going to go back here, change the background color of the canvas to something like a darker yellow, maybe something like that. I think it looks similar to what we had previously. And now I don't need any of this. So I'm just going to remove everything from the script, save. And now let's refresh and let's see if this changes significantly. It's a little bit darker, but it doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is that now, if I'm going to open this microscope, we get that nicer aligned grid from previously, and we see that we have all the lights on now, basically. But they are not on as bright as they could be. They could be increased in brightness if we applied that filter I tried previously. Like this. So with the filter, without the filter, with the filter, without the filter. And if I'm going to use the microscope here again, like this, with the filter, without the filter, with the filter, without the filter. It gets brighter and darker, but the microscope is doing some kind of automatically adjusting for the extra brightness. Oh, yeah, but I'm sure you get the point. And if I'm going to undo the code, you see nothing really happens because they are actually as bright as they can get. Of course, if we would put here 50%, then something does happen when toggling this. But we can't increase this kind of darker looking yellow color any more than this. Hope you liked this experiment. Thanks for watching and see you guys.